In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Before the garden turned to ash, before the morning that brought only darkness, there was favor. Allah had blessed a people, not with prophets among them, not directly, but with a garden. It was their inheritance, their security, their proof they believed that Allah was pleased. Every season the garden gave. Every harvest there was enough, and more than enough. The poor came at harvest. This was the custom. This was the right, the haqq, that clung to the wealth of the owners. And for years the owners gave. Not always happily, but they gave. Then came a harvest like no other. The trees bent with fruit. The irrigation channels ran full. The garden was more abundant than any year before. At night, the owners of the garden gathered, not to thank Allah, but to plan.
They will come again in the morning. They will stand at the gate empty-handed. The garden is full. They will expect much.
If we give what is usual, there will be less for us.
Less. There will be nothing left. You have seen how many come.
The garden is ours. We worked it. We planted, we watered.
The garden is ours. We weren't it. We watered. But the poor have a right. A right. We did not plant their hands in the soil.
What if we go early?
Early?
Before dawn, before the poor wake, we harvest while they sleep.
We would not be refusing them. We would simply harvest early.
If they come and the garden is already harvested, that is not our fault.
We will go at first light. Before the sun touches the eastern mountains, we will take what is ours.
They made their plan, and they swore it to one another. But they forgot one. They forgot the one who hears every secret, the one who sees what the heart conceals. There was among them, it is reported in historical sources, a man who did not agree.
This is not right. To cut the poor out of what Allah gave.
Why do you not say, if Allah wills, why not leave room for His mercy?
Allah wills, the garden is ours. Of course we will harvest it. The old man worries too much. Allah is merciful, he understands.
Ignore him. He has always been soft. Tomorrow morning, before dawn, we go.
The city divided into three. There were the owners, those who planned, those who would cut the poor from what was rightfully theirs. There was the righteous man, and a few with him, those who warned.
They planned to go before dawn, to steal from the poor what is theirs, and they will not listen. They laughed.
What will happen? I do not know. But when people plan against Allah's commands, Allah also plans.
And there were the silent, most of the city, those who knew, those who heard, those who did nothing.
They plan something, not our concern. The poor always suffer. What can we do?
That night the owners slept well. They dreamed of full baskets, of wealth increasing, of no hands reaching through the gate. In another part of the village, the righteous man could not sleep.
Ya Allah, they do not know what they do. They think they are clever. They think they have outsmarted the poor.
Protect the right of the poor, even if the owners will not.
The owners woke in the last part of the night, before dawn, before the poor, before anyone.
The garden waits for us. By midday the baskets will be full, and the poor still sleeping.
They will come to the gate and find nothing. Imagine their faces. We should hurry.
No hurry. The garden is ours. It will wait.
They walked through the sleeping village, their footsteps soft on the packed earth, their hearts light with their cleverness.
What will they say when they find the garden empty?
Where is the fruit? Where is our right? Please, masters, we are hungry.
And we will say, we harvested what was ours. Come back next year.
They reached the path to the garden, the path they had walked 1,000 times, the path that led to their blessing and to their destruction. But when they reached the gate, when their hands touched the wood, when their eyes lifted to see the garden, it was not there.
This is not our garden. We took the wrong path. We must have the gate. That is our gate.
The trees, they were full yesterday. Full. It is a dream. We are still asleep.
But it was not a dream.
It is cold. The ash is cold. When did this happen? We were here yesterday. Yesterday it was...
All of it. Every tree. Every fruit. Every...
Then they understood. Not all at once, but slowly. The way understanding comes when it is too late.
We planned, we schemed, we thought we were clever. We said we would go early before the poor. Someone went early.
They had planned to beat the poor to the harvest, but Allah had beaten them to the garden.
We were wrong. We knew it was wrong. The old man warned us. He said we laughed at him.
If Allah wills. If Allah will. We did not say it. We said the garden is ours.
And then one of them, it is mentioned in the narrations, spoke words that would echo through the generations.
We are barred. We are barred from our own garden. Barred because we thought was ours.
We said we will harvest what is ours. But nothing was ours. Nothing.
In the village below, the poor woke. They gathered their bags. They took their children. They walked the path to the garden, the same path the owners had walked hours before. And when they reached the gate, they found the owners sitting in the ash, weeping.
What happened?
The garden. Where is the garden?
Gone. All of it. Gone.
But yesterday it was full.
And then the poor understood. Not the full truth, not the why, but the what. The righteous man came later, when the sun was higher, when the news had spread.
You warned us.
Yes.
We did not listen.
It was beautiful yesterday. Yesterday we were rich. Yesterday you were blessed. Today you are reminded.
And the owners sat in the ash of their garden, and they spoke words that came too late.
Glory to our Lord. We were wrongdoers. If only we had said, if Allah wills.
And they began to blame one another, as those who have lost everything always do.
It's your idea. To go early, to cut them out. You agreed. You laughed. You said we were clever. We all agreed. We all planned. We all agreed. Stop. It does not matter now. The garden is gone. The poor have nothing. We have nothing. And Allah...
The garden did not return. Not the next day. Not the next year. Not ever. The owners became the poor, and the poor remained poor, and the lesson remained. The Qur'an recorded it, not as history, but as warning. So ask yourself, where is your garden? What have you said belongs to you? What have you planned to keep? What poor have you excluded, not with a gate, but with your heart. The owners did not deny Allah. They did not worship idols. They did not abandon prayer. They simply forgot that what they had was not theirs. They simply used their cleverness to keep what belonged to another. They simply said, "We will go early." And while they slept, while they were confident, while they laughed at the one who warned, someone came in the night. Not always fire, not always visible, but always. The punishment of the owners of the garden was not lightning from the sky. It was not an earthquake. It was not a flood. It was simply this. They woke up, and what they loved was gone. They woke up, and what they trusted had failed. They woke up, and it was too late. So ask yourself again. What if you woke tomorrow, and your garden was gone? What if the wealth you planned to keep, the harvest you schemed to protect, the future you secured for yourself alone? What if it was all ash? The owners of the garden are not a fairy tale. They are not ancient history. They are not a story for children. They are you. They are me. They are everyone who has ever looked at what Allah gave and said, "Mine." The poor are still waiting at the gate. The righteous are still warning. The silent are still silent. And the owners? They are still planning, still scheming, still saying, "We will go early." And Allah? Allah is still watching, still hearing, still planning. And the night? The night is still coming. For every garden, for every owner, for every plan. The owners of the garden thought they had outsmarted the poor, but they forgot who owns the night, who owns the morning, who owns the garden. They forgot to say, Insha'Allah. So before you plan, before you scheme, before you close your gate, ask yourself, what if the one who owns everything has already planned for you? And what if tomorrow you wake and find that his plan has come? Surah Al-Qalam, verses 17 to 33. Indeed, we have tried them as we tried the owners of the garden when they swore to cut its fruit in the morning, and they made no exception by saying, "If Allah wills." So there came upon it a visitation from your Lord while they were asleep, and it became as black ashes. And they called to each other at morning, "Go early to your crop if you would cut the fruit." So they went, whispering to one another, "There will surely enter it today no poor person." And they went early in determination, assuming themselves able. But when they saw it, they said, "Indeed, we are lost. Rather, we have been deprived. The most moderate among them said, Did I not say to you, why do you not exalt Allah? They said, Exalted is our Lord. Indeed, we were wrongdoers. Then they turned to each other, blaming one another. They said, Oh, woe to us! Indeed, we were transgressors. Perhaps our Lord will substitute for us something better than it. Indeed, we toward our Lord are desirous. Such is the punishment. But the punishment of the hereafter is greater if they only knew. So, where will you be when the morning comes? Will you be among the owners, walking to a garden that is no longer there? Will you be among the poor, waiting at a gate that will never open? Will you be among the righteous, having warned and been ignored? Or will you be among the silent, the ones who knew and said nothing? The owners of the garden are gone. Their garden is ash. Their wealth is dust. But their lesson remains, fresh, waiting, for whoever has ears to hear.
إنا بلوناهم كما بلونا أصحاب الجنة إذ أقسموا ليصرمنها مصبحين ولا يستثنون فطاف عليها طائف من ربك وهم نائمون فأصبحت كالصريم فتنادوا مصبحين أن اغدوا على حرثكم إن كنتم صارمين فانطلقوا وهم يتخافتون أن لا يدخلنها اليوم عليكم مسكين وغدوا على حرد قادرين فلما رأوها قالوا إنا لضالون بل نحن محرومون قال أوسطهم ألم أقل لكم لولا تسبحون قالوا سبحان ربنا إنا كنا ظالمين فأقبل بعضهم على بعض يتلاومون قالوا يا ويلنا إنا كنا طاغين عسى ربنا أن يبدلنا خيرا منها إنا إلى ربنا راغبون كذلك العذاب ولعذاب الآخرة أكبر لو كانوا يعلمون.
So hear it before your morning comes.